Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tony, and if you follow me, you know I just love building these amazing huge scale remote control vehicles, in particular these tanks from Armortek and other vehicles. And if you follow me, you know we've just recently finished the Series 1 Land Rover, which is now up on my shelf, fully charged and ready to go whenever I want to use it. And then more recently I've started working with HPI Racing and built the Baja 5B, which is also up on my wall, proudly displayed. So I just love building these kits, and I just, the enjoyment that they bring when you build is incredible. It's very difficult to describe, and if you're a builder, you'll know. But if you are, like, you know, if you're on the fence and you want to get into this hobby, you know, please give me a shout and I'll see if I can give you some help or some advice on where to start. And while I'm waiting for my new projects to start, and I'm saying projects because there's more than one planned for the new year, and probably about 3 weeks leading up to Christmas at the time of filming this, I wanted to get everything ready for the new year. One of the things I want to get, one of the jobs I want to get done on the M26 is that during the summer I had a bit of an accident with it. I bumped the main barrel and blew one of the resistors in the elevator. But my mate Adrian from the Armortek forum has very kindly fixed that for me, sent it back to me, and I've got it with me now, and I'm going to refit it today so I can get this operational, because one of the things I really don't like doing is if there's something goes wrong with your kit, you know, fix it at the earliest possible opportunity, because in my experience, the longer you leave it, the less likely you're going to go around and fix it. And when the time comes and you want to take it out and have a run with it and have a bit of fun with it, you remember that there's something wrong with it, and there's nothing more sort of heart-sinking than that. So if you've got a kit like this or similar or any other kit and it's got a fault with it, resolve it as quickly as possible, so that you've got it operational and ready to go anytime you want. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to get the turret off of this. Just going to strip some of the accessories down, get the turret, spin it upside down on my bench. We'll fit the elevator, put it all back together, and then I'll run a test on it just to make sure it's all operating as it should. And then I'm going to be happy that whenever I want to take this out for a run, it's ready to go. So what I'll do is, in the time-honoured fashion, I will reposition the camera and we'll get cracking. So I'm just going to take some of the accessories off. These are all just like loosely positioned onto the tank, and it just adds a little bit of detailing and authenticity to it. If I can just get these off. And all of these accessories are all, you can get these online, and they're all associated with these sort of figures, these amazing figures here. Now I do have an animatronic figure coming for my M26. It's going to replace the current tank commander. Just pop them over there, and then my little first aider, he'll pop over there. It just adds to the realism, I think. Now my aerials are just secured in position, just using a bit of grey tack. So I just pull those out. Again, if you've watched my build, you know what I did with those. I'm going to take this beautiful Armortek 50 cal machine gun off, and it's again, if you've watched my build, you'll see me build this. This is a kit that comes from Armortek, and beautiful thing, and it's got some weight to it, really beautiful thing. So that's going to be popped over there out of the way so we don't get any damage on that. One stray helmet over there, my little canvas packs here out of the way. So now all of these things are off, nothing else on there. Now I'm going to use these big foam pads to help support the turret, because when I take the turret off the tank, I'm going to have to flip it upside down to work on it. And what I don't want to do is damage anything that you know, any of the sort of the doors or any other parts of the paintwork if I can. I mean, you will inevitably do some damage, but you know, you can always touch the paint up, and actually, you know, it kind of adds to the realism of it as well. So anyway, now I just need to drop the tank down so I can get to the turret. I'll unspin the wing nut bolts on that, and I'll get the turret flipped over on these sponges, and then we can get started. So I've got the turret turned upside down. When I put it back onto the tank, the main tank, I'll show you how we do that, but it's to reverse what I'm about to do now, if that makes sense. So I need to get this main plate off to start with. I had to remove all of this when to get the elevator out. So these are just secured with 4 fixings. It just allows me to get to the part where I need to reinstall the elevator, and hopefully get all this working again. As I said, I just don't like leaving things broken or unfixed, because I just think what happens is that the longer it goes on, I know I said it earlier, but the longer it goes on, the less likely you're going to want to do it, or the less motivated you are to do it. And then you go on to other things, and then before you know it, you've got your tank sitting in your garage just deteriorating and not really doing anything, which is a bit sad. I do like to keep all of my kits fully charged and fully ready to go, so I can operate them anytime I want, because sometimes when I'm not building and I just want to take them out for a drive, I'm a bit of a fair weather driver as well. I don't like taking them out in the mud and the filth. It's just, I know it's not. So that's the plate removed, and this is where I'm going to reinstall the elevator onto here, reconnect up the cables, reconnect it onto the main barrel itself to allow that to operate. So what I'll probably do is get the camera up close and in a position where you can see down into the turret, so you can see what I'm going to do. So I'll do that now. Okay, so now we've got this in this position. I just need to release. I only had these on there very loosely. That nut over there. Just unwind that. Can't wait to see this back and operational. Just really don't like. It needs a bit of encouragement. Really don't like leaving things undone. So the elevator goes back in this position. Can only go that way. We'll thread that through there. Pick that up. Seems such a long time ago I built this. But I absolutely love this kit. So that's that there. Allows it to move side to side. Again, if you've followed my build, you'll see when I originally did this. And what happens is this ram here, which you can see hopefully here, this ram goes forward and back, and that sort of pulls the barrel up and down in the way it's supposed to. And what had happened was, when I bumped the barrel, the resistors on here blew, and so Adrian's replaced these. So hopefully when we get all this back together, we'll be able to see this operating as it should. Just going to tighten that up a little bit. That's it. And it's just that allows that, you need that bit of movement backwards and forwards. Now we're just going to spin this back round. Just want to see that will go back into position like so. Now I've got to get the awkward bit, is getting this elevator back in position through this bolt here. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. Hopefully that's picking that up. What I might do is actually get a bit more light down there so you can see. Okay, there's a bit more light on there now. So we've got this rod, move this out of the way, we've got this rod here which passes through the hole in the main elevator here. That's in. Now I've got to try and get this to thread. Thread this through so it picks up. There's a retainer or a bracket here and a bracket here for the gun elevator here, like so, and that rod passes through the elevator. Just gonna have to thread it, I think. And you can see that. Just going to wind that through so that it picks up the other hole. That's going to be a bit awkward until we get this with a bit of power in it. It's starting to come through now. I have to just use a little ratchet on that. righty tighty. That's it. Hopefully you can see. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here with this rod through here, this threaded rod. Just want to get it through enough so I can get a nut on the end, and then we're going to have to put a little bit of thread locker on it, so we don't want that coming undone. All relatively straightforward jobs until they become tricky, and they're not straightforward, but this so far is working out okay. Right, now just want to put that nut back on the end of that. Just want to get it on initially, and then we can put some thread locker on it. A little bit of the old. I'm going to put blue thread locker on this. And it's not such an issue if you have to get it off, but it will stop that nut unwinding by itself. Just doing it hand tight initially. And that's that. Now this, as you can see, won't fit back in its position. That's because the elevator needs to be powered up to allow me to retract that, to allow the barrel to push out and retract this so I can get this into position. So what I need to do now is I need to get the base of the tank round, get some power on, get these connected up, these leads connected up. Hopefully they'll stretch. Get a bit of power to this to allow me to reposition this, and let me do that, and I'll be straight back. So I've just parked my tank on its jack next to the turret. I'm gonna just connect up, no power on the tank just yet, just making sure that is off. Yes, just going to connect that up initially. Make sure I can actually put it around the right way, would be good, wouldn't it? Make sure it does fit, and it does. Now just need to reconnect up the elevator these are all labeled what they should be, so it says elevator, so black to black, red to red. Now obviously this is just a quick temporary thing. You can see that I can't get this bracket to fit on there because the ram needs to be powered up in order for me to do that. Tell you what, I'm not happy. Well, I don't want that to be, that needs to be underneath, so sorry, let's pass those underneath that. Again, we go black to black and red to red. That's that, and that's that. Will that sit up there? No, it just will not sit up there for now. So, first things first, let's get my radio set's already on. Now let's get some power to the tank. That's the sound card kicking in. I'm just going to lift this into position here. Hopefully, I can. There we go. You can see that slowly moving as the ram's extending out into position. So I can line those holes up perfectly, as you can see. So I'm going to turn the power off again, and now we can reconnect these fixings. I'm not putting any thread locker on these. So I know the RAM's now reworking, so massive thank you to Adrian for getting me out of jail on that one, mate. Nice and tight. You can see it was relatively straightforward. I'm actually really buzzing because I can't wait to see this operating again as it should. I mean, it was driving around, it was doing all usual thing, but the elevator wasn't working, or the recoil on it wasn't working. So now we can see it in all its glory again. Just wind these in. I know I've said it a few times, but the great thing about building these kits is if they go wrong or you damage them, because you've built them, you kind of know how to fix them, right? How to take them apart and put them together again and all the rest of it. So not how to use the instructions or anything, because it's still quite fresh in my memory and mind how this all goes together. So what I do now is I'm going to get this turret back onto the main tank, but I'm going to have to disconnect this while I sort of just get the tank round into a position where I can stand over it and drop the turret back into position. So as I'll do normally, I'll reposition the camera and I'll show you that. Right, here we go. God, this is a heavy old lump. Forgot how heavy this is. Got the turret, just need to line up a couple of the fixings which are there. Got my bit of protective foam, just allows me to get the cable and reconnect it. So I've got a gap this side that I'm just going to use. It's sprung back in there. Here we go, got it now. Just going to put a bit more protective foam underneath that. Stops me hurting my hands. Going to reconnect the cable up. I know you can't see this. All the joys of... That's it, that goes underneath. We don't, that's it, that's fine, that's not going to snag. Now, just support it. Make sure I've got those lined up. Looks good. Just support that while I remove the foam. And that's now down, just checking to make sure there's no snags. Looks fine. Right, so next thing, just need to put a bit of power on. Just want to check that the elevator's working. There we go. Doing exactly what it should do. Perfect. Right, so we're going to put all the accessories back on. I'll get it elevated a bit more and we'll give it a proper test. Right, so let's start this up. Lights on. The different angle. That smoke is amazing. I don't even see that. I'm going to bring the camera around to the back of it just so you can see the exhaust working beautifully. I just wanted to show you this. So when I had to turn it off, I thought I'm going to have a look at the smoker unit because it wasn't smoking as much as it used to. As you can see, my workshop is full of smoke because I fixed it. And all it was is I'd overfilled the smoker unit by that much juice. Look at that, too much. Stupidly, I just thought I was running out of juice, so I'll put some more in anyway. It doesn't work, so you need to make sure there's a very small amount of smoke juice. My mistake, just learned by mistake, but no harm done. It's now working perfectly. As you can see, I can promise you I'm not vaping. This is from the tank. So I wanted to show you, now that I've drained the fuel, the smoke tank, and just got a very small amount of oil in it, what it actually does. So imagine this in the great outdoors. Wonderful. Let's engage the gears. Now accelerate. Wonderful. Just wonderful. I love this tank. I love everything about this tank. Let me turn the let's turn the engine sound off. Turn the lights off. Turn the power off. Kill the breaker, and take the power down on my radio set. So I love this tank, and I'm glad I've done the work on it that I have, because it's now ready to go. I'll put this on charge. I probably won't use this now over the winter because I said earlier I'm a fair weather driver. I really love the way it looks. Don't mind bringing it out when it's a little bit damp and everything, but the conditions here in the UK are atrocious. So I'm going to wait for that, but it's ready to go for the next time I want to bring it out. And I do plan to bring the Hetzer and the Persian out on a bit of a trip, which I will film next year. So I'm just going to tidy up here, stow this away, and then I'll be back to camera for my final piece. So that's it. Now the smoke's gone, I can actually see clearly. Isn't that a song or a quote? Anyway, I thought I'd bring my Hetzer into the frame so that you can see that. And the reason why I'm doing that is I wanted to reflect on the year that we just had. My channel's now 2 years old, exactly 2 years old, as of the time of filming this. And I just have to reflect on the year that we've just had. It's been incredible. I can't believe that with your help, in May of this year, I achieved 100,000 subscribers to my channel, and that's down to you and your support, and thank you, a massive thank you to you. And then since then, it's just gone from strength to strength. I still can't believe I've got an award for that, and I'm still, that's proudly displayed in my office. Yeah, I cherish it, so thank you. And let's just reflect on the year itself. Other than that, this year I finished my Hetzer, and do you know what? I love this tank. I love this tank. It's smaller than the M26, but it packs a punch, and I've got it set up. So I just wanted to give you a refresh of how good and how great this thing actually looks and sounds. So let's just look at this. Can you see the smoke? I don't know if you can see the smoke, but I can see it. Inadvertently switched it off. Hang on, let's just do that again. And I love the way the gun operates. And of course the way it drives. Hopefully you'll see the smoke now. I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist that. Let me just turn that off before I forget. So yeah, you know, I love this tank, and I really enjoyed building it. I really loved personalising it with my own personal camo scheme, or my interpretation of the camo scheme. And of course, in the same year as I finished the Hetzer, I got the Series 1 and went on, sorry, got a bit of smoke in the background now, went on to complete my Series 1, which I absolutely love. I've enjoyed every moment of that build, and for all the reasons I said before, the fact that you can personalize it more than probably any other kit that I've built so far. And of course I went into a new type of modeling with the HPI Racing Baja, the 5B, the self-build kit, and it's up on my wall. And if you follow me, you know it's now operational. I've still got a bit of running in to do with that, but do you know what? I loved every single minute of it. So a massive thank you to HPI Racing for the incredible team behind the design and development of this kit, and what they're continuing to design and develop. A brilliant company. If you've never heard of them, check them out. HPI Racing. They have got some incredibly new, really exciting models coming out. But also just a massive thank you to Armortek for just continuing to make it possible for builders like me to enjoy this hobby. And I hope you saw the, I don't know if you saw the factory visit video that I did. That was really, I was really privileged there, because I was invited by Armortek to do an exclusive visit and factory exploration, if you like, to down there and with the guys down in Armortek, and I loved every single minute of that. I met all of the team. Unfortunately, I couldn't get around to meet Monique, but I met Kian and the team, the wonderful team behind Armortek, and just got to a real insight into how they go about producing these incredible kits. So a massive thank you to everyone at Armortek. But finally, just all of you guys, a huge thank you to all of you. I really hope I can continue to engage with you in the new year, and I will very shortly be telling you all about my plans for my build plans, if you like, for 2025. But I'm going to sign off now by just wishing you a very peaceful and a very happy new year, and I will see you in 2025.